Oh, get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live once more again with another episode of my worthless 2 cents table talk. Well, your approval is not needed. Well, look here. It's Monday. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Hope you and well, first and foremost, let me say this to all my friends and family up there in Dallas. I hope that you're all safe. I heard about the terrible weather up there. I hope everybody's safe. My prayers go out to all of those people up there with all the rainfall and everything. Look here. The old country boy ain't gonna be on here long. I really want tonight. This is a this show. Old country boy is gonna do a little bit something different tonight. I'm gonna be truly open, and I'm gonna share, and I'm gonna apologize. You know, this show is about transparency. This show is about coming here, laying it on the line. It's about a safe place that God has created. And that's what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm gonna truly do that. And I hope that you bear with me. If you saw what it read, it says, you know, it had to happen. And tonight, it ain't the country boy that's gonna tell you. It's me. It ain't the guy that you see here. It ain't the Louisiana country boy. Tonight, Donnie R Lewis is gonna tell you it had to happen. And you say, well, what had to happen? Well, you know, I'm gonna take this wonderful opportunity tonight. I'm gonna take this blessing tonight, and if you just bear with me, I'm gonna walk you through some things, and maybe you can get a clearer. And I pray, this has been my prayer, always my prayer, that something that's said tonight will encourage others to keep going. Something that's said tonight will say, keep on pushing, keep on praying. Something that comes from this old boy tonight will let you know you can't quit and you can't give up. You can't turn back, can't turn around, because God has brought you too far. So I'm gonna tell you, it had to happen. What do you mean? See, and I'm gonna tell you, it's a little bit different. This is how I had to write some things down because I wanted to come clear. I wanted to come clear. It had to happen. See, this story with this old boy, not the Louisiana country boy, but this old story with Donnie R Lewis, me. This old story started in 2015. See, in 2015 was the year when I say I was wrestling with God. Wasn't really a wrestling match. 2015, May of 2015 is when I told God I'll do it. 2015 is when I took everything I had and I said, God, I'll do it. I ain't fighting no more. I ain't running no more. I ain't scared no more. I'm going to do it. I didn't realize then or any time since then what I'll do it meant. I didn't. But it was okay, because the one thing I will say is I've always said this: God, I trust you. I trust you. Even when I don't understand, I trust you. Well, after I made that promise, God, I'll do it. I said those words, God, I'll do it, in 2015. And I'm going to walk through this, and I'm going to try to walk through it quick because I know what the attention span is. So I'm going to try to go through it if y'all just bear with me. In 2016, I was in Louisiana. I was working at a place I've been working at for years, up there in Arcadia. Arcadia! I was up there in Arcadia, working at an auto parts place up there. But I'd reached a point where I felt that I had done all that I could do. I had accomplished all that I could accomplish there. And I went to my supervisor, and And I told them, hey, you know what? I'm about to step down. Not only had that happened, at the same time, I had been given the honor of ministering a church, first and third Sundays in Ringo, Louisiana. Actually, this church was where my grandma went, my mama went. It's actually a church where way back in the day it was a school. My daddy used to teach at that school. And I had the honor of standing at the pulpit in that church and standing in that wonderful church. It was a blessing, a blessing. So I had told my supervisor, and I let them know that, hey, you know what, this is it. I'm putting them a notice, and old boy's finna. I said these words, and it came back to me today. I said, I'm finna minister. He wished me well. And I set out on that journey. But I was also, I took another job at the same time. And I went to work for another place up there in Arcadia, as well as ministering every first and third Sunday in Ringo. And if I tell you what the blessing that all of it was, it's a tremendous blessing. But what do you mean? What do you mean? Going back, that had to happen. See, I'm going to try to tie them in. See, when I told God that I'd do it, and I left that first job there in Arcadia, it had to happen. See, it had to happen in order for me to explore something else, in order for me to step out on what he had for me. I didn't know that that's what he was doing. I tell you right now, when you trust him, you don't know, because I didn't know. I didn't know that when I left that job in December 2016, I didn't know what was in store for me. But what I did know was who was with me. Well, I started this new position at this other place in January of 2017. And it was a wonderful job. It was a wonderful opportunity. But in December that same year, while I was still ministering at the church, first and third Sundays, working this new job, it was, to me, everything was rolling. Everything was, woo, it was roll on, roll on. It was a good time. Well, in December of that year of 2017, I had just started this job in January. In December 2017, this new job, this new career came to me, and they said, well, I think we're going to go in a new direction. So here this old boy was. Like, wow. Okay. But if I sit here and I tell you I was in panic mode, I wasn't. If I sit here and I tell you that I knew what was coming next, I didn't. I'd be lying to you, because I didn't know what was coming next. I was not in panic mode, but I didn't know what was coming next. That goes back to surrendering back in 2015. I still, in the best of times, I trusted God. In the worst of times, I trusted God. Well, in 2017, that December, I never forget it, that same year, 2017, right before I had come here to Houston. I told y'all this old show about transparency, and that's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna lay it out there as ugly, the good, the bad, and the ugly tonight. I might not even want to watch this old boy no more, but I'm gonna lay it all out there, see, because this is my story, it's my journey, and that's what this platform is about. It's about sharing transparently. Well, right before, let me back up a little bit. Right before I had let go from that job in 2017, I was actually back here in Houston. I'd come here to Houston for a championship game, Grambling championship game, right over there at the Astrodome. I come right here. And after that game, I actually met what would turn out to be my future wife. I met her right after that game. That was December the 2nd, 2017. And right after I met her, a few weeks later is when I was back in Louisiana and my employer said, hey, we going in a different direction. I said, all right. Didn't know, as I told you before, I didn't know what was coming next. I came out here to Houston that Christmas. So I have family out here. I said, you know, I'm gonna go to Houston. I'm gonna be with my sister for Christmas. I ain't got no job. I ain't got no job. So I came out here. And I tell you, being with my family was beautiful. At the same time, you know, I got to meet and spend time with what was to be later on become my future wife. Well, in what was it, 2017? No, I'm sorry. Then in December that year, I didn't even go back. I didn't even go back to Louisiana. I actually moved here to Houston in 2017. Moved back here to Houston. When I moved back here to Houston, transparency, dead broke, no job. I didn't even have no unemployment coming in. Didn't have nothing. I came here on a wish and a prayer. And at the same time as coming here on a wish and a prayer, let me throw this in there. At the same time when I came back here in that December, without a job, without anything, I was still going back. I was still traveling back to that little old church in Ringo, Louisiana, every first and third Sunday. Sometimes I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue on how I was going to get back. I was like, God, I got enough gas to maybe get there. I don't know how I'm going to get back. But let me tell you, every time he made a way. Sometimes I'd be like, Lord, I might just have to count some pennies to put some gas in the car just to get back. But he made a way. And I faithfully, without working, without working on the job, but I was working for him. I faithfully traveled back and forth them 5 hours to go down there every first and third Sunday, regardless. I put what I felt, what I thought to the side because I knew I had a commitment and a responsibility to him. Because remember, I told him, God, I do it. I told that first job when I left, I was going to minister. And I did that, and I traveled back and forth. And it was, and I did write this down because I didn't want to miss nothing. In August of 2018, I asked my wife for her hand in marriage. It was a wonderful time. It was, to me, I thought that I had finally found work here in Houston, and I thought that this is what it's about. Well, see, again, go back to what the topic was. It had to happen. Remember, the beginning of this was because I made a commitment to God, not to man. I made a commitment to God first. See, when you make a commitment to him, you have to follow the commitment you made to him. You don't put anything before him. I'm gonna keep on rolling with it. Hope y'all just bear with me. In 2018, December that same year, 2018, I was blessed that my oldest daughter blessed me with my grandson. Man, I'm looking at the pieces and I'm going like, look at God. But what I had done was my focus my total focus was not him first. It became family first. It became wife first. It became everything else, friends first. It didn't turn out to be what it started. The commitment to him was there, but now the commitment to him was behind everything else. It had to happen. The steps. I always talk about the steps. And I've asked him just to guide me through this because this is the real. This is the real. In January 1st of 2019, my wife and I became husband and wife. Man, I thought that God had, I was like, man, this is it. See, what I had done, I had put and let God be a part of our lives. And a part of my life, he wasn't the head of my life. Say it again. Maybe somebody get it. Maybe it resonates. Maybe it don't. I had kept God in my life, but he was no longer the head of my life. Job, family. I had all these things that I had asked him for, but now I had taken what he had commanded me and I had promised him that I would do was preach the word, share the word. Give the word. What I had done was remove God from being my head to being a part. You can't do that. In May, and I'm gonna try to rush along because I ain't gonna try to hold on. In May of 2019, God blessed us with that wonderful little baby girl, one that I call Princess. She tell me don't call her Princess no more. Her name is Patricia Ann. God blessed not only us, but this world, this magnificent child. And at that blessing, before she was born, sitting there in that delivery room, I made a phone call to my pastor, Pastor Campbell, because I told him, hey, before she come in this world, I want you to pray. I want you to pray for her. I want you to pray for us. And sitting there in that delivery room right before delivery, I called him on the phone and he prayed right there. My child was prayed over before she even came into this world. It had to happen. After she was born, she was down in the NICU and I went down there and I held her and I looked at her. And I said, God, I thank you. And now I give her back to you. I thank you for choosing us, for choosing me to be the father, to watch over, to guide, to protect her. I thank you for entrusting us with your gift. And I returned that sweet little girl that's just, woo, she's something else, but I love her. I returned her to God right there. And I held her and I sang with her. But I knew that she wasn't mine, that she was his. It had to happen. In August of 2020, 2 years ago this month, my wife and I separated. It was painful. It was hurtful, not because of the separation, but it was painful and hurtful because I had envisioned this family. I had envisioned this thing of raising these children in a solid unit. I had a vision of what it meant to be whole. But it had to happen. In September of that same year, I was in a court battle to just have the right to be a father. It's stuff I don't share out, but you know what? It's about transparency. It's about being real. It's about being open and honest. Because I can't have anybody come here to share theirs if I don't share mine. I went through this not because I wanted to take anything away from her mom. My mom's a wonderful mom. But what I didn't want was anyone to take anything away from me because I wanted to be the father, whether in the home or out of the home. I wanted to continue being a father to my child, our child, the one that God had blessed us with, the one that I had told him, thank you for giving me this opportunity to watch over, to guide. It had to happen. And I'm on in April 21 was when this old boy wrote his first book and shared a lot about my life openly. Shared a lot about the pain and the hurt that I'd gone through in the years past. In May of 21, for me, was the first time that I had started this, my worthless 2 cents. God bless this business. In June of this year, a few months ago, in the place that I'd been for the last, since I'd been back 4 years, I don't know. Well, I had been let go from that place. Why? I was let go because of my videos. I was let go. That's what I was told. I was let go because of my videos. What you work, when you work, but you got these videos that's out there. So my company didn't agree with how I was handling my extracurriculars and how that I would praise and give thanks on the job, off the job. But see, it had to happen. And I sit here today, and with so many mixed emotions, so many mixed things, and I'm gonna tie it all in with it. Today was another one of those days where it had to happen. Today was the day that I found myself in the old courthouse again. Ooh, this boy stays in court. I would have mercy. But today was the day I found myself. I ain't got to read no more because I think I got all the dates in. Today was the day I found myself in the court getting ready to, disillusion, resolve our marriage. But it had to happen. And the reason I'm sharing all this openly and transparently, see, every step had to happen. Once I openly, from my heart, submitted myself unto God's will, once I truly allowed him again to be not a part of my life, be the head of my life, that I put nothing before him, everything had to happen. See, if I hadn't done one thing, if I hadn't have left the one job, then I wouldn't have been at the next job that let me go. I wouldn't have been at that job. I wouldn't have learned that when I had nothing, I had God, that he was my provider. See, it had to happen for him to say, I am your provider, not the job. I am your provider. It had to happen. See, when I came here and understanding that growing closer with my daughter, my oldest daughter, it had to happen, because if I'd have still been where I was, I wouldn't have understood that God is a healer. It had to happen. The relationship between us, he's the healer. He can bring it back together, which he did. But in order for him to do that, I had to be in a position to where I knew there wasn't nothing I could do. It had to happen. When I sat there in that NICU unit holding that beautiful baby girl, holding her and giving her back, it had to happen. See, I had to understand who he is. He ain't just a part of my life. He's the head of my life. I said so many times during my ups and downs that what I did was I got to a certain point in my life where I said, God, I got the wheel. You just get over there in the passenger seat. He was no longer the head, he was just a part. I had to get back to the point. Everything had to happen for me to stop trying to put my hands on a wheel and let him drive. I sit here and I openly share the ups, the downs, to tell you, God don't want to be a part of your life. He wants to be the head of your life. God has been my friend when I've been friendless. God has been my mother when I've been motherless. My father when I've been fatherless. God has been my lawyer in the courtroom. He's been my provider. He has been my all in all. It had to happen. See, did I want it to happen? No, none of it. Not none of the negative stuff, because I thought that I had it. But I had to realize it wasn't I that had it, it was he that had it. It had to happen. I used to not understand what I truly understand. He will wipe every one of your tears away. See, I know y'all sitting and going like, well, let me tell you something. These tears ain't tears of hurt. These are tears of knowing that it had to happen. These tears are accepting his will and his way. These are tears of saying, thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you that you were there when it had to happen. These are tears that tell me, him, and you that he has never left me nor forsaken me, even though it had to happen. I don't know what anybody else may be dealing with or anybody else may be going through, but understand this. Don't give up. Let me tell y'all something. Many of the shows have been, this is probably one of the most difficult things. But see, again, I made a promise unto him that I'm going to be here. I'm going to show up. Use me. I'm going to be right here. Broken, I'll be here. Healed, I'll be here. Sick, I'll be here. Well, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here because the word must go forth. And this ain't about preaching. This is about being transparent. This is about being open and honest. And I ain't gonna, I can't even kid you. The enemy was saying, boy, you can't get on there and talk about that. You know how folks gonna look at you? Folks gonna look at me any kind of way anyway. You can't get on there and share all some people, you can't tell everybody this, that, and the other. I'm protected by God. I can share. I'm covered. If I don't know nothing else, I know I'm covered. I don't know nothing else. I know his grace is sufficient. I don't know nothing else. I'm not worried about what people may think about me telling about my life and my story and this and, oh, you've been through this. I don't care. What I care about is doing what he has commanded me to do. Yeah. That's what it's about. It had to happen to each and every one. I said, whatever situation or things that you may have done or dealt with, or maybe going through, God's plan, God's purpose must go forth. So understand it had to happen. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Had to happen. His plans are not our plans. Our thoughts are not his thoughts. It had to happen. I'm never going to allow God to be a part of my life. He's going to be the head. That may offend some. It's okay. It may confuse some. It's okay. It may, in this story and my journey, may cause people to turn away from table talk. It may run away to people that want to come on here and no, that's not the platform for me. Then it's not. I'm here to tell you about my grace, my God. I'm here to say I understand that it had to happen. Everything, every step. See, when I stepped out of line, the things that happened had to happen in order for me to get back in line. When I made other things and other people my idol, then God had to put me back in line. It had to happen. Thou shalt have no other God before me, is what he said. Not before him. I'm so grateful for this journey. I'm so grateful that my daddy has never left me nor forsaken me. And I will say this to you, each and every one of you, or anybody else. I hadn't liked it all. It all hadn't been fun and games. But I know it had to happen. It had to happen. And see, the thing is that God, I appreciate you. I appreciate you and I thank you. I thank you. I thank him for chastising me. See, because it says he chastises the ones that he loves. It had to happen. The decisions and the choices that I made without consulting him, it had to happen. See, people don't want to be open and honest anymore. Maybe that's okay. That's how people. I can't condone or condemn or anything for anybody for being who they want to be. I just pray that, and I know that it will, that this seed that God has given me to sow, this journey, this story of my life, the realness, that it falls upon the ground, the fertile ground that it's supposed to. These are not just words coming from the Louisiana country boy. These are words coming from Donnie R Lewis. Me, my heart, my spirit. It had to happen. It had to happen. You know, I was early today, I was sitting and I said, Lord, speak to me. You know, that old thing came back and it says, you know, the teacher is quiet during the test because she's already given all the instructions. She's already given you all the information prior to the test, or he's already given it to you. So God, when I'm asking you to speak to me, he's saying, son, I've given you the instructions. Son, I've already given it to you. Now it's up to you to apply it. I'm just going to be quiet and I'm going to allow you to take this test. And you know, in the Bible, they called him teacher. They called him teacher. I thank you, teacher. I thank you. Thank you. Jesus, I thank you for your instructions. I thank you for your teaching. It had to happen. Whatever you may be going through, wherever you may be at, don't quit. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't quit. Understand something. Had to happen. That hurt had to happen so you would know God is a healer. That loss, it had to happen so you know He's a provider. It had to happen. It had to happen. So you would understand just how magnificent He is. It had to happen. Look here, this old boy gonna get on up out of here. I thank y'all for bearing with me. I thank y'all for giving me this opportunity to regurgitate. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your encouragement. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. I'm on a mission for my daddy. I don't know where it's going. I don't know what comes next. I really don't. I'm on a mission for him. I'm walking in purpose, on purpose. As I've heard it said so many times, I ain't for everybody. That's okay. As long as I know everything I do pleases him. That's all that matters to me. The way that I walk pleases him. How I talk pleases him. Because that's what matters at the end of the day for this old boy. That's what matters. Not sure what matters to you. That's between you and your God. I'm not here to judge nobody. I just know back in 2015, when I said that I would do it, that's why all of this had to happen. in May of 2015 when I said, God, I'll do it. Everything in between that had to happen in order for me to sit right here, right now, and tell somebody else, just keep holding on, because whatever you're going through, it had to happen. Anyway, this old boy's gonna get on up out of here. Again, I greatly thank each and every one of you for tuning in. I'll be back. I'll be back on Wednesday. I've got some special guests coming to the show later on. I guess they still coming. I hope they still coming. I hope that they didn't be like, "Ooh, no, we ain't getting on that." But I hope that they're still coming. They have been invited, and each and every one of y'all know that, man, if y'all want to come in here and share openly and honestly and transparent, y'all can go to my page, fill out the guest form. It's open, man. This thing is open. This is God. This ain't Donnie. This ain't the Louisiana country boy. This is God. This is God. This is God. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves, this is God. This is God's table. This is God's table. This ain't mine. It's His. And I'm grateful that He allowed me to be the chef tonight. So, but anyway, again, I thank y'all. I thank y'all. I'll be back on Wednesday night. And as I always say, I love each and every one of you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Y'all have a good one night here.